Okay, so we're back, and this time we're talking about Officer Black Belt, which is a Korean film that's just come out on Netflix. I just got done watching it about an hour ago, and I've just sat and stewed and processed, and I thought, yeah, I feel compelled to talk about this one. This was a surprise. I just, again, kind of just stumbled across this one. Recently added to Netflix. Um, it's about 2 hours 10 minutes. So it's like it for lack of a better term, it's a cop thriller. It is. Um, so we have our lead character who, he's kind of like he's a prodigy. He's a prodigy in a sense. He's very gifted athlete. Proficient, very proficient, very accomplished in various different kinds of martial arts, taekwondo, judo, kendo, all that good stuff. So he's very adept, and he's a very simple guy. Working at his dad's food delivery business. And just so happens one night to stumble across an incident. Basically, there's an officer apprehending a suspect, and the officer's having a pretty tough time of it. Well, he's kind of got it under control, and then obviously the guy tries something underhanded, grabs a beer bottle, and you know, so our hero decides he has to intervene. He feels compelled, and then off the back of this, he gets a commendation, and they're very impressed with his performance. He's formidable. He could be a great asset. So he's invited to join this team, and it's a division of the police force. It's kind of like a probation division, and it involves basically keeping tabs on recently released convicts. Obviously wearing the ankle bracelet. They keep tabs on them, and obviously if they get out of line, they intervene. But you have like the way it's set up. You've got your probation officer, and then you've got basically, for lack of a better term, their bodyguard or their enforcer, and that's what our guys recruited for. And things get off to a good start. He seems to have a natural talent. He seems to be a natural fit for this. And then the inciting incident happens. So basically, there's this big time child sex offender who is released from prison, and obviously there's a lot of publicity surrounding it. But they anticipate obviously this is going to be it's going to be pretty high profile thing. We're going to need to dedicate a lot of resources to this, so they assemble a specific task force just for this individual. And our guy gets recruited to be the main enforcer for it. So no sooner does this convict get released, and the idea is, he's going to be kept tabs on, see where we go, try and hope he's going to mend his ways and be rehabilitated, so he can reintegrate. But obviously, it doesn't happen, as you might expect. We wouldn't have a movie otherwise. So he basically gets involved with a lot of his old contacts, and he gets recruited by someone who's involved with the dark web and basically making more child. Again, this is going to go well on YouTube, innit? So basically, child pornography, basically. So then this takes a hard left turn because this goes through a number of different things. So when I went into this, I was started thinking, oh, is this going to be kind of like Korea's answer to Police Story or Super Cop? And then it goes on a bit further, and I'm thinking, okay, so is this going to be Police Story if Jackie Chan's character was a member of the Lucky Stars? So you kind of got this whole thing going on, and then you have this shift, and we kind of start getting into 8 millimeter territory, and it honestly, this film, it does get intense, and it gets into some dark stuff. It doesn't pull punches. But yeah, so then obviously that's what the rest of the movie's focusing around. Obviously, keeping tabs on this guy and trying to nail the guy when they find out what he's doing. And then again thrown around a lot of comparisons, but you get some vibes of Dirty Harry as well. You know, because obviously you've got obviously that chunk where obviously Harry's keeping tabs on the Scorpio killer, and obviously there's the incident where the Scorpio killer kidnaps a young girl, and then obviously Harry's got to try and hunt the Scorpio killer down and find out what he's done with the girl, where she is. Obviously, you go through the whole thing where he tries to pay the ransom and the double cross happens. We get a similar thing here where obviously they kidnap a girl and obviously they're setting up to make one of their tapes. And obviously, it's a race against the clock to find the guys and rescue the girl. And then obviously, like, again, very reminiscent of what happens in Dirty Harry. You know, Dirty Harry, we try to pay the ransom. Harry and his partner almost get killed in the process. A similar thing here. We are lucky enough that we rescue the girl, but our guys he nearly bites the bullet in the process. So then we have following on from that, and again, like how Dirty Harry's a very important film and continues to be a very relevant, should we say, relevant film in terms of the themes and the messaging in there. Again, not the message, but legitimate. You know, this film's got something to say. Our guy decides eventually to take matters into his own hands, like Harry does at the end of the movie. Basically, it's that whole thing of, our main character's tried to do what he can within the limits of the system. He's tried to follow the system, and the system's failed, and now we have to take matters into our own hands because it's just bigger and more worrying problems. This is just going to get worse if we don't put a pin in it now. And again, they do, because obviously you have a lot of that throughout Dirty Harry, where obviously we realise how flawed the system is. The system ain't working. We have kind of that here, but it's kind of from a different. It's maybe you might say a more sympathetic angle, because obviously what they're highlighting here is how this particular division it's very it's spread very thin, You've got a very limited number of people on this team, and they're trying to do the best they can, but they just don't have the numbers, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the resources, they don't have the support. But I suppose again, just to kind of give that kind of, I don't know, take a shot at the way things are. There's a particular board meeting, when they're planning on assembling this task force, and obviously they're talking about how they've applied for the additional support, additional resources, but it's being denied. So again, you've got those little things there that kind of, I don't know whether you want to say, do paint it in the system in a legitimately flawed way and don't try to make apologies for it. But this is a very, very good film. I was very surprised. And again, what a great main character as well. He's great. Again, the actor, first time seeing this guy, I found out as well he's apparently in another series that is on Netflix, Black Knight. So I'm looking forward to checking that out off the back of this. But it's a very well done film. Great performances by everyone involved. It packs a punch, an emotional punch, and you can really get on board with. You're really rooting for the main character. Also, one of the things, mind you, this might be a reflection of the time period, because obviously Dirty Harry, very much a film of the 70s, and in 70s fashion, it has a very bleak, somber ending. Obviously after Harry gets the Scorpio killer, you're glad he's got him, and you're totally on board with what Harry's done, but it's not necessarily a fist in the air moment, because it literally ends with Harry throwing his star in the river and walking away. So it's kind of like, oh, it's bleak. This is a different way. Again, more reflective of the time period that we're in. I don't know, But again, obviously you're glad he gets the guy in the end, and it goes on a ride. Um, and what I will say is the action set pieces in this are very well done. It's done by guys who know how to do action, which is always refreshing. It creative fight scenes, inventive fight scenes, um, but some of them are very hard hitting. Oh yeah, some of these scenes are tough. They are tough to watch because it's some of the fight scenes you do have fun with, but then when the tonal shift happens, there's some sequences where you're like, oh yeah, this. It's not an easy watch. Some of the fight sequences, although they are very very well done. And again, just you can see the effort that everyone's put into this, and they deserve to be commended 100%. But I was really, really pleased with this. A total surprise. Again, pretty much went into it cold. I hadn't even seen a trailer or anything. I just saw, new to Netflix, offers a black belt. But I'm glad I took the time to watch this. And again, 2 hours 10 minutes, not over long. It's as long as it needs to be. It's got a good pace to it. But again, just really great hero that you can get behind. Really good story that you can get invested in. Great set pieces, directed with a real style as well, and a lot of sort of creativity. But that wraps this up. Again, there's a lot of comparisons you can make. The Lucky Stars when our guys together with his group of friends, obviously police story in a way, maybe even crime story given the tone, and then obviously stuff like 8mm and Dirty Harry, absolutely. But it's very very good. I was really happy with this. And again, if you've got Netflix, what have you got to lose? You've already, it's not costing you anything that you haven't already paid. So again, if you're at a loose end, take a gut. Why not roll the dice on this one? I hope if you do that you enjoy it. And again, please feel free to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. It's always just nice when you just get a surprise like this, and it's just very well done, and you just can dial right into it. But thank you for listening to me ramble. Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.